Hey everybody, Mike Der Manouel Jr. with Hub International. If you are watching this video right now, chances are you're sitting in a teacher orientation and you're discussing all of the topics you need to get a handle on as kids come back to your campus. So today we're going to focus on the safety and health of people on your campus. And we're going to do this really for three reasons. One is that it's important for everybody that works in our ministries to be safe at work and to be healthy at work. And the information we're going to provide you today is going to go a long way in helping you achieve that goal. The second reason we're doing this is because if in fact we do have people that get hurt at work or get injured at work and have to miss time, it's very disruptive to our organization. It's not easy to plug and play and find people that can just slide right in and do your job. And so that's another really, really important reason for understanding how safety and health in the workplace impacts your ministry. And I think the third reason that we're covering this information again is that it's when you have workplace injuries, it can be very expensive for the ministry. As an employee, you are covered by what's called workers' compensation insurance. And contrary to some belief, injuries that happen at work do wind up costing your ministry money over a period of time. It's kind of a way to fund your accidents and spread out the cost. But so many of our injuries are avoidable. We estimate probably 95% of what we see coming in the door with workplace accidents in churches and schools didn't have to happen. Now that 5%, things do happen. That's why we have you protected. But I believe the information you're going to see today is going to help you remain safe, period, and healthy, period. And so that's why we're doing this today. I hope you enjoy it.
Hi, my name is Matt Havens, and I am the Vice President of Claims for our Central and Northern California region of Hub. As many of you know, one of my duties is to monitor claims as they are submitted. And what I'm seeing is, as we see throughout California, the two major injury causes are slips, trips, and falls, that's one, and lifting, that being the second. Here are some ideas to help you manage those risks.
The police chief is taking on what scientists call inattention blindness. Despite the modern romance with multitasking, the reality is the human brain evolved to do only one thing at a time. To test that, researchers at Western Washington University sent this clown on a unicycle through campus, and only about a quarter of people using their phones noticed him.
Only when I got real close up and he was coming towards me did I really see it.
This is not what you want to do when you're setting up in your classroom this fall, because this guy right here is playing with fire, okay? No tables, no bookshelves, no chairs, step ladders and ladders only. Caught him in the act. This is live footage, folks.
I'm an example of what not to do. This extra time that I took to find this ladder really was worth it. I mean, you imagine the time that I would spend at home being injured if I had stood on that? Your belt buckle should be right in the center. You don't want to overreach to the right or to the left. Stay within the middle of the ladder. It's much safer that way. And the other thing is, if you see another item that's too far away, the right way to do this is you step down off the ladder, and then while you're on the ground, move it over to the spot where you need to be, and then climb up again and reach whatever you need to get a hold of.
I have very little patience for stupidity.
All right, if you've ever seen the Allstate commercials featuring mayhem, this is it. Why are we sitting in a dark room doing anything? Well, because from time to time, some of you walk into dark rooms and try to navigate your way across the room and inevitably something like this happens. There's a light switch right next to the door. And guess what? Did you know you're all carrying a flashlight? Right here, flashlight. Every single phone has a flashlight. So folks, let's not commit unforced errors. Use light when you walk into a room. We have a lot going on this campus this summer, a lot of construction. And Reggie, I think they do a good job. Everywhere I've looked, they've got areas cordoned off, and that's good, right?
You know, it's excellent, but you know, this is just unexpected. You know, if you're walking along, you're not gonna, your eye isn't trained to see an elevation of about 2 inches off the ground. So just need to be aware if the cones aren't extended to cover this area, and if you have to walk through, just be aware of where you're walking.
Yeah, so what we do is we would put a couple of cones up here with a sign, okay? We don't want people to go around and walk into the street, but at least we have a little bit of warning over this plate. But by and large, they're doing everything right here. They really are. But what we have to do, if we're an employee or a guest or a student, we have to respect these lines. We can't walk over them, we have to walk around them. But overall, I think a very good job.
Yeah, no, I'd agree.
Yep.
When we're doing self-inspections, we're doing safety inspections, we usually come across this type of hazard, trip and fall hazard. Also, you'll notice that it's right next to a doorway, so anybody that comes out will likely trip and fall over the cord. There should be another source found, and if not, at least put tape over it, eliminate that hazard.
Okay, it's pretty typical for us to see situations like this around a teacher workspace. It's nothing bad, but we just need to be really aware that when we have the inevitable bundle of cords around where a teacher's primarily operating, that we've got to take extra precautions. I would recommend having some kind of a strip across here so that the chance for the chair or someone's feet to be tangled up in the cord becomes a little less likely. This is the way to do things. This is in another area of the same building. So this is what we would recommend when you absolutely have to have cords from the wall in between you and your work area, right here. You know, you don't have to be a safety engineer to participate in self-inspection on your campus. Take a look at this, for example. This is the natural transition between classrooms. This stuff is put away perfectly, just fine. There's nothing to report here. But if you kind of look back over my shoulder, you can kind of get into the hallway and you can see that a couple of items have been left out. Now, these are the kind of issues you're going to want to do something about if you see them. My point is this: everybody can be participative in self-inspections on your campus. Most injuries occur in August, September, and January when things are a little bit messy coming back. So be proactive. Don't walk past anything that might cause injury to yourself or to one of your coworkers.
I don't think I can do it without holding on to these shoes.
So Amy, so this is the thing. Amy can't even get down one step in these high heels. And we got people going up and down stairs in high heels all the time carrying stuff. And so this is a great illustration of what the problem is with inappropriate footwear for what you're trying to do. Now, this is a huge problem, okay? Typically we talk about high heels, but these flip-flops, I mean, when you look at slips, trips, and falls, this is what you're really seeing day in and day out. Ladies, really? I have just walked 10 inches in these shoes. My right calf is cramping, my toes have already turned black, I've almost fallen over 4 times, okay? These guys gave me $100 today to put these on because we wanted to illustrate something, and that is the absurdity of improper footwear in the workplace and the havoc that it causes. It causes, look at this, I can't even talk and balance at the same time. I'm gonna get out of these now, but this is a familiar sight, isn't it? Now maybe your heels aren't this long or this tall, but there's no way anybody could function in these. It's just impossible. Jim could, either he's texting or checking his Instagram right now, but either way, he's probably fired. What was wrong with that? I mean, really, how stupid am I for doing that?
What is going on? What are you doing?
Do you know what was wrong with that? Now let me show you how to do that the right way. One simple change.
That's what I'm talking about!
Went from a high probability of injury to a low probability of injury. You know, we talk about holding handrails all the time. Some of you don't do that very often. Every time you go down a set of stairs, even if it's 3 steps, and you're not holding a handrail, you're putting yourself at risk. You're also putting the school at risk or the church at risk. So when you're going up and down stairs, hold handrails, don't carry too much, don't block your vision. Those are the key points for not slipping and falling while you're going up and down stairs.
Stop it. Get some help.
I have been participating in these safety videos for 15 years now. I don't know where the time has gone. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm here to talk about some aspects that will hopefully make the claims process a little easier. When an accident occurs, the first thing we want to happen is for the injured party to report the claim to either their supervisor or the human resource department, whatever that reporting looks like for your organization. Once that happens, you will be directed to a medical provider if medical care is necessary, and an accident investigation will take place. That accident investigation is important because we want to know the root cause of any injury. We want to make sure we learn from injuries and that we're able to prevent similar injuries from occurring in the future.
Gabe, what's the number one piece of advice you have for a coach in the process of coaching their sport?
I think you can demonstrate the sports. I think it's showing people what to do and what not to do, but not at full speed. When we have coaches doing full speed demonstration of a particular move with the particular sport they're at, that's when we get into trouble.
Okay, how about you, Reggie? What do you think?
Well, the only thing I can think of is that, in your head, you're 18, but physically you're not 18 anymore. So just remember that.
Exactly. Matt, what kind of claims are we seeing out there injury-wise with coaches?
We've had torn ACLs, we've seen ruptured Achilles tendons, we've seen torn rotator cuffs. So we're seeing some major stuff.
Yeah. And so what happens is you've got people that are just doing their job. Maybe you're a volleyball coach and you're going up to demonstrate a kill and you tear your Achilles. We've had coaches throwing batting practice tear their labrums or hurt their shoulders. We've had line coaches doing football drills with kids. Clearly they're completely outmanned in the process of doing that. So the rule of thumb here is demonstrate, but not at full speed. Know your physical limitations and understand that as a coach, you are one of the biggest hazards on campus in terms of a potential injury. While electric carts can be a valuable resource on our campuses, any staff member that uses them should follow the proper safety protocols, and there should be training before anybody uses an electric cart.
Churches and schools have these types of vehicles, electric golf carts. They're pretty versatile and used quite often throughout the campus, usually by facilities or maintenance. One couple of things to keep in mind, only licensed drivers are allowed to operate such equipment. You have to have a valid driver's license. The speed, many times when I go out on campuses, I see people driving like Mario Andretti. Part of the training that we should be talking about is driving around corners and making sure that we stop or slow down at blind intersections. This is something that is very critical. Every year we have accidents with these types of vehicles, and it's because people are just driving too fast. They have speed governors. You can adjust that. If you're the one operating the vehicle, it's important to secure the key. That way nobody else drives away with it. The parking brake for a golf cart is the top pedal, and you want to make sure that that is secured, especially when you're on an incline or sloped area of the campus. Golf cart safety rules should be part of your injury and illness prevention plan, and should also be in your fleet safety program, so they understand how to operate a golf cart, and also they understand the safety rules.
So I do get a lot of calls from churches and schools with the question, hey, Mike, can we do this, or can we do that, or can we have our staff engage in certain activities? And I think I have two answers for you. One is, if you're calling me, then you have enough doubt to kind of already know the answer. You probably shouldn't have activities like that for your staff. But I would also say this, we're not going to ever say no. But I do want to say that if you allow certain activities, then you kind of need a budget for accidents to happen in conjunction with them. Like, I can guarantee you staff versus student games, and I can guarantee you participation in full speed athletics, and I can guarantee you, ropes courses at camps and things like that. Your people are going to get hurt. So, and if that's an acceptable risk to you, then just understand the costs of that down the road. So that's really how we deal with staff and student activities. And we'll kind of share with you what we think you probably need to avoid. Okay, so these are 10, I think they're pretty non-negotiable activities staff should never be involved in. And this is gonna bum a lot of you out there that are watching today, but here's kind of how it goes. I get a phone call. Hey, Ken. Yeah, hey, good. How you doing? Okay. All right. So what's up? Hey, Mike, I'm getting some really crazy requests about doing things on activities and at the staff level, and I want to run some things by you. Okay, well, do you want me to say no?
I like saying no. It lowers their enthusiasm.
Will you please say no to all this?
I say no.
Okay, I'll say no to it, no problem. Make me the bad guy. But what are the 10 things, really? Well, first of all, there's a lot of fun trips out there, and I know we like to have a lot of fun with the students. Snowboarding and skiing at the staff level, not a good idea. Now, if you want to do it, that's fine, but budget for it, because someone's going to get hurt. Snowboarding and skiing. Number 9, ice and roller skating. Ice and roller skating. Nothing good ever happens to staff members on any kind of a skating rink, ever. Number 8, trampolines and bounce houses. For whatever reason, our folks like to get out there and mix it up with the kids. Trampolines and bounce houses, not a great idea. Number 7, climbing walls. I'm talking at camps and other places, not a good idea. Number 6, a lot of people like to go surfing, especially in California on the coast, coastal schools. I don't care if the kids surf, staff surfing.
Okay, that is messed up.
Running. A lot of folks get in a hurry. They feel like they got to run. A lot of people get hurt running. Number 4, dunk tanks. Great time at carnivals, but if you're in a dunk tank and you're on the staff, A lot of injuries in dunk tanks. Number 3, staff and student contests and games. Basketball, volleyball, all kinds of stuff like that. If the staff's going to participate, I see problems on the horizon. Number 2, playground equipment. It is for kids. I shouldn't even be up here. Can I even fit through here?
Yeah, you're good.
Took 3 people to get me up here, it take 4 people to get me down. And number 1, don't get on the roof, okay? Pretty rare to see people up on the roofs, but I've driven into parking lots before and seen people up on the roof retrieving a ball or doing something like that, and I always wonder, why is that person up there? Those are 10 sort of simple suggestions to not get yourself all mangled up during the school year. You know, the joys of being on the playground brings back memories. 50 years ago, I was on a playground like this, breathing the clean air. And I know you have fun out here too when you work on the playground, but you know, you gotta be aware of flying objects. You really do. Don't laugh. It's a real hazard. As you can see, I have superior peripheral vision, and that is required of all of you out here in this jungle we call the playground.
You embarrassed yourself.
Whether you're in a large or small or medium-sized church or school, you're going to have people doing administrative functions, and they're going to be using computers and technology. And this presents kind of a particular hazard, and that is the hazard of ergonomics and the workspace. So what we see out there is that people injure themselves by working to the point where they're uncomfortable, and they'll continue to work and work and work until they actually have an injury. So what we do is we advise people on some basic principles of ergonomics to make sure they're comfortable when they're in their workspace.
Yeah, and those principles really are seen in 3 areas. What's the height of the chair? Where's the keyboard? And where's the monitor? A lot of folks don't realize that all 3 are adjustable. Everybody is different. So I would just be aware of your environment and know that you can make adjustments to those 3 areas.
Yeah. And so one of the things I like right here is this mouse, which is a different mouse than you typically see. But this is there for the particular issue that the person that sits here has. And this relieves the pressure on their thumb in particular. So this is a good example of an accommodation. But the main point is that if you have discomfort associated with working in front of a computer, that you say something, because it's easy to come out and make evaluations and make adjustments so that you can work comfortably.
The angle that we should have our arms, especially the lower arm, resting on the keyboard, should be at a 90-degree angle when you're looking at the angle right where your bicep is. Now, the other thing to look at is to make sure that the monitor height is proper. Ideally, we want to make sure that the monitor is equal to the level of your eye.
Now, inevitably, you're going to have some questions about some of the material that you heard today. I want to let you know that we've got a lot of resources that can help you navigate through this entire issue of safety and health. But let's focus on 2 right now. One is heat illness and heat illness prevention. This is a requirement of Cal OSHA, and this is something that is not optional for any ministry. You may have a written program, and we've got to also get to the part where we're training people that are working outside in the heat. So something that's new this year in California with heat illness is you have to actually have an indoor heat illness prevention program as well. So combined with the outdoor, these are resources that we can provide. You don't have to spend a lot of time looking for them. Just contact us and we'll give you a hand with that. The second thing is brand new to California, which is a workplace violence prevention program. Right now, the only requirement is that you have a written program. We have templates for that. The requirement took effect July 1, 2024. If you don't have it, you need to get caught up on it. I don't anticipate a lot of enforcement right now from Cal OSHA or the California government on this, but at some point there is going to be some enforcement, so I'd recommend that you take advantage of that. But beyond that, any general questions you have about workplace safety and health, you can just direct them to myself, to Matt Havens, or a member of our team. And if we have a resource for you, we will go and get it and we will deliver it to you. I think if I have one concluding thought to share with all of you, that is that we need to focus on the details of this. And I know it's not easy to do day in and day out. It's busy. There are distractions. There are time deadlines. There's tons of kids running around. There's all kinds of stuff happening. I get it. I'm on a lot of your campuses throughout the year. But focusing on the details and being cognizant of the importance of being safe and healthy at work is really going to make your ministry that more effective. It's really effective when you're there versus not being there. And the way we're going to keep you there is for you to take this information that we've given to you today and take it seriously and really commit to the details of making it work for you.